see if you can see that clearly, but yeah, it's here. So that's the first step. We are going to make this truly yours. Other things includes like we have Alexa built into that. So if you are an Alexa user, what you can do is just sign up into Alexa and then control any of your existing Alexa devices over the band. And also, like if you are want to ask Alexa any question, you can just long press the home button after the setup. Long press it.
Oh, guys, pause.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
I didn't hit the go live button. We've been talking and it was streaming, and the go live button wasn't on. So.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys. We've been like watching your questions and stuff like that. Okay, let's just shoot through the intro again super quick, guys. So my name's Logan. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at Wyze. I've been helping on the Band and Scale launch. And yeah, so I've been doing a lot of marketing materials. Jonathan, go ahead.
Hey, I'm Jonathan. I'm the technical product evangelist. I've been testing and working on the scale with Alex.
Hi, my name's Arthur. I'm the product manager of the Wyze Band here. Alex.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Alex, the product manager of the Wyze Scale. So we hope you enjoy the scale and ask us any questions if you have. Thank you.
And then we also have with us Tiberius. Go ahead and introduce yourself. You're on mute.
Oh,
there you go.
Thank you. I'm Tiberius. I'm the community growth specialist here at Wyze. I'll be helping field questions to the speakers and with you on YouTube, answering your questions.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, sorry about that little hiccup. So we're actually on Zoom, and we're streaming live from a Zoom meeting onto YouTube. And so we had it all worked in and everything showed us live on the background, but then we actually had to hit the live stream button inside of YouTube too. So this is the first time we've done this live stream with Zoom. So yeah, thanks for being patient with us as we are getting this all figured out. So Arthur, for about the first 3 minutes, because we were actually live without actually being live right at noon, Arthur was describing the band. So this is kind of how the flow of the whole conversation is going to go. We are going to talk about each of the products, and then we're going to start answering some questions, but we want to just introduce the products. And then after we introduce the products and do some questions, at the very end, we'll give you a little bit of our product roadmap and talk a little bit about what else is coming. We're going to invite Mike into the meeting for that. So, all right, Arthur, back to where you were when we started. I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead and talk about the band again.
Sure. So I'm not sure if you saw the previous part of this demo. So basically, here's what it looks like. A typical activity tracker sized band with, but what we see in this product is that it is a smart home assistant, and we want to make it truly yours and truly part of your smart home ecosystem to make your life easier whenever you are. And just use the band as the entry point to control stuff, to get answers from Alexa and things like that. So first thing of the band you are going to notice is that it uses 100 by 120 by 240 kind of color AMOLED screen, which is the type of material you see from all the phones nowadays. And the first step we want to make that literally yours is that you can set whatever image you want to as a background image, not selecting from like a pre-existing list. So here's what you are seeing in the band. So here's the home screen, and you can scroll down and up to for different functionalities. But if you go to the first one, that's where you set the images, and you can choose any images from your album as that image for the screen. So I'm selecting the image of my dog, clicking OK, and then you can adjust the time, color, and everything else of the appearing on the band, and then save.
Hey Arthur, whenever you hold the screen up, hold it up just a touch longer, because it seems like a long time for you, but for the viewers, it's actually not very long.
Sure.
There you go.
It's like this. It's like the waiting mode for it to sync, and now it's done. And you can see that here is what the result is. So yeah, just to make any make the screen truly yours and truly like customized to your need. And I personally love the feeling to see my dog or my family members every time I check on the time on the band. And that's the first thing I want to demo here. And second part is about Alexa. So if you go to the if you are Alexa user and you can customize for Alexa functionalities here. Once you set it up, all you need to do is long press the home button for 2 seconds, and then it enters into this Alexa mode. And Alexa is not weak, and it does not always listen to you unless you press it for like 2 seconds. So that's for security privacy purpose. So let's try it. Alexa, what's the weather today? And after some like here it returns the results of the weather today in a format, and yeah, that's basically it. It shows everything on the screen for the Alexa response. You can set timers and ask Alexa to control the device and anything like that. So
yeah, hey,
of course,
Sure. Can you talk a little bit about the shortcuts too? A lot of people are asking about how it works with Wyze products. So obviously you can control Wyze products via Alexa, but you can also control non-Wyze products that are connected to Alexa accounts as well. So what about Wyze products? How can it help with the Wyze product?
Oh, sure. So in the homepage of the band, you can see there's an entry point for you to set set shortcuts. So here you can import any of the existing shortcuts and move them to, that's the edit. Import any of them by clicking on the plus button, and then it will show on the band and it's ready for use. And if you want to create anything new, just click on the add new shortcuts, and then it allows you to set any actions you need for the shortcuts. Like once it's set up, if you click on save on the top right corner, it will appear on the band for you to use it. Here, let me show you.
While you're getting that up, I'll just say, so I've used shortcuts to control my lamps in my master bedroom. And so I use it at night. When I go to bed, sometimes I'll just tap on the band. And when I tap on the band, the lights can turn off. I can also use it to lock my door. We don't allow a shortcut to unlock your door, but it can lock your door if you have Wyze Lock. Yeah, so that's how I use it. Go ahead and show that. Sorry, Arthur.
Oh, no, that's it. Just the any of the your set shortcuts will appear on the band, and once you click on it, it triggers a shortcut to run, and it triggers a shortcut to run the functionality. And for now, I'm running off, so basically turn off all the notifications from cameras when I get back home. So that's the one use case for the shortcuts, and there are many more. Like if you go to sleep and you want all the lights to turn off and all the cameras to turn on and start to like guard into a guard mode, and then you can do that. And there are more on the way to support this shortcut functionalities to allow you to control any of the Wyze or even in the future non-Wyze devices through the Wyze band.
Yeah, and how many shortcuts can the Wyze band have on it? Because you obviously can have a pretty much unlimited list inside of the app, but how many can go on the band?
Sure. Right now you can set up to 5 shortcuts. Yeah, but that's just for now. There is no like technical limitations. Just setting to 5 so that the interface is more friendly. You do not like have a really long list of things to scroll through. Yeah, but in the future we might increase this limit if there's a need for that.
Okay, great. Okay, so showcase the band. Jonathan, why don't we go over to you and you can talk a little bit about the scale and showcase that. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances. We're going to come back and visit the band with a lot of your questions. We see a lot coming in right now, and so we'll address those in just a minute. But let's talk about scale really quick.
Hey everyone, Jonathan. So we actually have, let's see here, scale right here. This is the scale. Very slim design. It also has a ITO glass coating on the top. So
wait, ITO.
ITO.
Get a little bit more
coating.
real. What is that?
ITO. It's a glass kind of treatment that actually allows conductivity. So because of the smart scale, we can measure body fat. with that technology, you know, a lot of times with the older scales, you see those metal plates on the side, which I actually have at home. You don't have to step on those metal plates anymore. You can just step on to the glass scale right here. So, and then you can actually step on anywhere on the scale instead of just, you know, having to lay your feet right on top of the metal plate. So
yeah, it's like some of the traditional ones. Yeah, they have those
Mhm.
metal plates, right, Jonathan?
Yep. It's very cold to step on in the morning. Yeah. So this is an awesome design. And it uses 4 AAA batteries, which comes included, which is awesome too. And yeah, I mean, it measures different measurements. I'll go over to our app right now. So this is pretty much a scale. It's about 12-inch, 12 by 12 on design. And let me open up my app right now. So this is the app right now. So if you already have the Wyze app, let me see here. Can people see it clearly on that one? Or is it? Logan, can you see it? App?
Yeah, kind of. Go just a touch closer.
Closer? Okay, all right. So we go into the Wyze scale right here. So this is the oh, this is kind of white, but it's too bright, I think. But basically within the scale, right now it's actually connected. But within here, once you step on the scale, it will measure, first it will measure your weight, and then it will also use bioelectric impedance analysis.
Impedance
So
analysis, there you go, yeah.
Yep, impedance analysis. So it will send a very low, you won't feel the electric current through your body. So that's how we measure the body fat. And this is pretty much industry standard. But with us, what's also cool is that we also have other calculations. So with my very old smart scale, you know, it can only measure body fat and weight. But with our Wyze scale, it can measure up to 9 different measurements. So, you know, we have body fat, muscle mass, body water percentage, lean body mass, bone mass, protein percentage, visceral fat, and then basal metabolic rate. And also the last one will be metabolic age. And also what's cool is that with our scale, actually, this is something that you don't really see that often with other scale is you can actually measure your heart rate as well. So we have a special setting at the very bottom that you can step on and you can actually measure your heart rate with our Wyze scale. And within here, last one is this device can, you can use several users on it. There's not a limit on the users. And actually it also has auto recognition. So it can sense the difference between your body weight and body type. And then it can actually save that to a different profile. So right now you can create several different profiles. So, you know, within the family, if your family of 4 or 8 or even more, the app will actually automatically assign that that measurement to the right profile. And right now, actually, I'm in the trend mode. So you can actually view your own trend. You can view it by week, month, year, and then you can actually click on the history on the very top right here. And it will show you your previous history right here. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan. One thing to note is, you know, smart scales, especially Bluetooth only ones like ours, you can find them obviously on Amazon and other locations, but to get the combination of features and things that we offer, plus to be able to have the app that works with, like, you're not going to find it for the price point that we have. So Scale, for those that aren't aware, Scale is $19.99 plus shipping. Band is $24.99 plus shipping. So, I mean, when you're thinking about that and the features that you get for that price point, I mean, the scales comparing with scales that are in the $70 to $120 range bands. Arthur, what would you say, like, our band compares to bands that are within what price range about?
Sure. Currently, there are only 2 other smartwatch on the marketplace that has Alexa built in, and they are around like 150 and 189, I think. Yeah, and for lower end activity trackers, you do not typically see AMOLED color screen as something like ours. That's around $30, $40, I guess. There are many products there, but our product is still very unique in terms of the quality and the screen and everything.
Yeah, and you got to realize that these are products that we have built and created features specifically for our users, right? Like the shortcuts. So someone asked the question, does shortcuts only work with Wyze devices? Arthur, can you answer that?
Yes, for now, the shortcuts only works for Wyze devices, but we are working with other third-party service providers to see if we can use the similar kind of experience to trigger other functionalities, not just Wyze devices. But for now, by launch, it will only work with Wyze devices. Yes, it's similar to your shortcuts and rule experience in the app, but it's on the band and it's easier to access.
Right, and then with Alexa, of course, you can get many other features. So we also had, or sorry, when I said many other features, like I had distracted for a second, you can control any devices or routines that are connected to your Alexa account. So it does give you the ability to control most of your smart home. Okay, so the next question, we brought in Frederick, and this is for Arthur and Frederick together, but we have a lot of people talking about integrations. And specifically, like, will this work with Google Assistant? And also, like, will data sync to Apple Health and Google Fit? So let's start with the Google Assistant question, Arthur and Frederick. So why are we only working with Alexa right now? And if or when are we going to get Google Assistant?
I can try to answer that question. And hi, everybody, by the way. So when we started the project, which was quite some time ago, we basically went to Alexa and went to Google and basically asked the questions, what can we do? What are the integrations that are possible? And Alexa had a ready-made answer in the form of what we call the AVS SDK that would allow to do that exact integration. The problem is when we went to Google, they say, well, the only way you can get Google Assistant for the moment is for headphones. And that's the only profile that we're going to be supporting at the very beginning. But if you want to do a smartwatch, you basically would have to convert the entire band to an Android stack. And unfortunately, at the time, that was not a possibility. So we had to basically forego the implementation of Google Assistant into the band. And that's why today it launched only with Alexa. We're not excluding Google Assistant in the future. We're actually looking at the possibilities to do it. We always strive for parity between all the voice assistant. It's sometimes a little bit difficult to stay in sync because they're moving at different paces with slightly different, emphasis from time to time. So that's the Google Home versus Alexa, and even for Alexa, we had actually a challenge, and Arthur can talk a little bit about it. So, yeah. Yeah.
So from the band design perspective, I think. We structure the entire system as that it can take any voice assistant. So the band itself only forwards the audio files to the app, and all the integrations happens in the app. So for now, the same architecture could work for any voice assistant service as long as they provide us anything similar to the Alexa AVS SDK. So whereas I think we're still in communication with Google Assistant or any other voice assistant providers. So as long as they can provide that level of support, we can make that happen on the band.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. And go ahead, Frederick.
One interesting thing also that we started to pioneer with Alexa is the fact that we don't have a voice feedback. We don't have a speaker in the band, and that's not something that they were supporting at the time. So we work with them on one feature that's called caption. And the band is actually one of the first that benefit from that technology. Arthur, if you want to talk a little bit more about it, that's a beautiful feature.
Sure. So for Alexa, first of all, we do not have a speaker on the band, and in order to get you the response from Alexa, we have to show them in some way on the band. So we have been working with Alexa team, and they just beta released the function called a caption, and that will convert the Alexa voice image into a text message, and we can do some level of customizations on the text message. The video, the function I just show you, like when we ask for Alexa for Wyze, and then after we get the caption response, we can do some customizations of like showing images, or if you ask Alexa for a question and that answer comes with an image, which it applies to some like Wikipedia questions, we can also show that image as part of the response. So that requires some work with the early version of this caption functionality. So we're still working on improving that whole experience, and but right now it's functional, and yeah, it's a long way to get here.
Yeah, awesome. And then kind of switching gears a little to where does our data sync to? Because this applies to both Band and Scale. So with Scale right now, and Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong, but Scale right now works with Google Fit. You can sync your data with Google Fit. Apple Health is right around the corner. We're waiting on a final approval from Apple. I actually have already tried it in a beta app and it worked. And then we're waiting. We have Samsung Health, and we also have Fitbit coming soon for Scale. Is that right, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's correct. Google Fit will work right away. Apple Health is coming very soon, and then in the future, we're going to have Samsung Health and Fitbit. And in terms of what the data syncs with is actually your weight and also your heart rate. So it will sync with both Google Fit and
Cool.
Apple Health very soon. Yeah.
Awesome. And then that's, I mean, Apple Health soon enough that it might even, once they get the Scale, it might even be there. I mean, it's very, very soon. We were expecting to have it at launch, but waiting on third parties, especially during a time of crisis, is it's unpredictable.
The function's already built in. We just need certification and approval from Apple and ready to go. So.
Yep. And then Arthur, can you talk a little bit about the data syncing on Band? I believe right now it doesn't have any connections, but you have some coming. Like we've been asked a lot about Garmin Connect in a few of the comments.
Yes. So right now the version we're going to release with early access does not contain any data integration for Band, but we're working on that. I think by the end of April, we will have the Google Fit and Apple Health integration, and the release after that will be adding like SmartThings and several other integrations. So yeah, the short answer is not for now, but we're working on that.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's go to some of the questions right now that we've got in the comments. So Brandon, you've been posting some, but also answering some in the comments on YouTube, so I'm not sure. Can you give us a question, Brandon? Just pop one into the chat or just talk through your phone. What do you think the question we have people most asking right now that we're looking to answer? Here's while you're still looking and posting, here's one. It says, what is the Scale connected to? Could I step on the Scale in the morning and turn on my Wyze plug connected to the coffee maker? Jonathan or Alex, are we going to have Scale doing other things like that connected with other devices in the future?
Right now, we don't have that planned. There's not a rule built in with the Scale. But I think the original question might be just what it's connected to. It's basically connected to an Android or iOS device through Bluetooth. But right now, so it goes through that to the internet. All the data is synced through your phone and your tablet. But right now, we don't have the rules function built in with the Scale.
Right. So if step on, then this happens. Do we have plans for rules function coming with Scale?
That's a Alex question. So,
Alex.
Yeah, we will evaluate the demand, and it's possible. So it's possible to connect to more devices in the future.
Okay, awesome. It is possible because of the way we've built the Wyze Cloud. But as of right now, nothing right away on the roadmap.
Yeah, if it's necessary, we can do that.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, let's see. Looking at a couple other. Here's a question: can band track location or sleep, Arthur?
Sure. So for so the band does not have a GPS module on it, but it will rely on the phone to provide the location. So the band would use that location from the device, from the phone, for the checking weathers, and also like for Alexa geolocationing service. That's for the GPS service, and for the sleep tracking. And yes, so the band could track your sleep, and we can analyze by the movement of your sleep. We can also tell you the light versus sleep, like versus no sleep time of the night. So that's by the time you wake up in the morning, you will see a summary of your sleep of last night, and it's all happening locally on the band. So even if you have like security concerns, the privacy concerns, don't worry about it. So the sleep tracking is all done on the band locally.
Okay. Now, one of the questions kind of related to that is we talk about how we have a run mode on the band right now, and could potentially in the future, that we don't talk about this, but potentially in the future we could support other modes. But we're not using GPS right now for the run, right? We're using the accelerometer to track the run. Is that correct?
Yes. So for now, there is a running mode, and that only relies on the sensors in the inside of the band. But we are working on outdoor running service, outdoor running functionality. So that's with that you can just run outdoor and rely on the GPS location from the phone, and then we can track your running path on the map. And that's one of the functions we were going to release, but we just postponed that because I don't think a lot of people are gonna run outdoor in the coming months also. So that's we do have that capability, and it's under development right now. We should be able to release that within the next 2 releases.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. Next question. Will there be a Wyze app for Google Wear devices or Apple Watch? That might be a Frederick question. I don't know.
I'm not sure that we can actually do it. There might be. I mean, we haven't talked about going past the mobile app for the moment. That's something we can consider, but we're basically looking at how to expand the ecosystem, not only from a device point of view, but also from a software access point of view. Having those kind of dedicated application takes time to design. It's something we've considered, but we don't have any formal plan for the moment.
Yeah. Thank you, Frederick. Okay, so here's another question for Arthur related to the band. So we have someone ask if the band requires a heart rate strap. Can you just talk really quick about how the heart rate's calculated?
Sure. So it does not require a heart rate strap. So it uses infrared and light sensor on the back of it. So like this very typical sensor out of the Apple Watch and all the most mainstream products. So it uses light and a sensor to measure a heart rate, and the strap itself does not have any functionality other than to just comfortably attach the band to your arm, and that's it. So the awesome. Strap is normal.
Awesome. And then Jonathan, question for you. Someone asked if it's Pacemaker safe for the scale.
So Pacemaker is it's something that you should definitely consult with your doctor. But what the industry safety recommendation is, don't use the BIA function, the bioelectric analysis function, if you have a pacemaker. But
there's an option to turn that off, right?
Yes, there is an option to turn it off. So within the app, you can just use the weight only measurement function, and you can turn it off. And then I assume there's going to be other questions about pregnancy. So with pregnancy is also the same thing. Consult with your doctor and physician. But usually what the doctors will say is it's perfectly fine to use the scale as well. But you can also turn off the BIA function if you don't want to have that.
Awesome. Someone said, too bad the band can't track temperature. That's correct. We do not track temperature with the band. All right, let's see, another question. Let's see. When the band breaks, how much does it cost to replace just the strap? Like this guy right here.
Okay. I actually need to double check on that. Currently, we do not have the strap set up as something we sell individually. Yeah, let me double check on that. I think we'll post that.
And one note is for the early access backers on your band, your band is gonna come with this pin strap, right? Which is kind of, just got the little pin that you push into the strap right there. And then it's also gonna come with this additional watch or buckle clasp strap, if you want to call it that, and a guide for how to connect that. And then Arthur, can you talk about colors and what we're talking about with that?
Sure. For now, we only have the black color. There's two types of structure here, and it's the basically difference in the buckle and the material. Right now, we only have those two all in black color, but I think we could definitely introduce more colors in the future, but not for now, not for year launch.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk really quick about shipping to Canada. Does anyone have the latest on where we're at with our shipping to Canada?
I think that's a weird question.
Let's see if I can get I'm going to work on getting an answer to this right now in Slack, and I'll come back to that. I'm also seeing right now if I can have Brenda join on a demo and have her come in and show us using the shortcut on her band to turn on the lights. Just for kind of a live demo of that. Hold on just a second. Let's see, next question. Will the Wyze Band app keep track of calorie intake, outtake? I'm currently using the Fitbit app to let me know how many calories to eat in a day.
That's not something we have for now. So the band itself only track your activity. We do not have a app interface for you to input your calories, but that's something we're evaluating for future releases.
Arthur, I think there's another way to look at the same question, which is based on your activity, how many calories do you need to support that activity? That's a calculation. I think that's something we can do in the future. It's based on the response. It's pretty clear that we haven't done it just yet.
Yes.
Perfect. Good answer. Thank you so much, Frederick. Okay, let's see. Next question. Are there any plans to add more apps to the band? Something simple, even like TOTP app for us folks that do a lot of MFA, smart alarms plan, anything like that?
Something simple like that.
So it's like you know how we have the different screens, the different apps on the band, Arthur? Like, do we have plans to add more ones like that? Like, for example, like an MFA type thing where you could use it to authenticate or something like that.
I see. Yeah, I've never thought of that before, but thinking of the from architectural level, I think the band could definitely have that integrated, but we need time to evaluate how that works. So a little bit like the demo of how the band works. Like on the top right corner, you can just select and tries to arrange what kind of features are shown where on the band, and also you can remove certain unwanted features out of the band. Once you set that, it's changed what shows on your band. So under this architecture, we could definitely add new features in the future, but that the MFA is something we haven't really looked into previously on the band. Well, we'll do some research and let you know if that's possible.
TP, I would probably make sure that there's an integration with the phone, that the phone does the TOTP and we relay the information back to the band. I think putting it in the band might be one, a security risk, and two, also can create some issue if you lose your band, which is, still a possibility.
Yep, awesome. Okay, we have Brenda joining us. Thank you, Arthur Frederick. Brenda, are you off of mute? Nope, unmute.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay, Brenda, introduce yourself really quick, and then Brenda's going to show us. She's got her band connected to a light, and she's going to give us a quick demo.
Okay. Yes, I am Brenda. I'm the content manager. I am the one writing as many articles as fast as I can based on your questions. So right now, I have a shortcut set up to turn on and off my lights. Basically, I only have 2 lights. Trying to show you how I do it with this one little light. Okay, so I have my Wyze app with my beautiful sun, and I go to my shortcut, I tap, and then I have a turn off everything and a turn on everything, and it works to turn on.
Cool. And turn it off.
And I tap turn off everything, and I have everything because it goes. I have a plug upstairs and 2 other lights, and I just tap that to head out the door or when I get home.
Awesome. Hey, that worked great. That was totally on the fly, everyone. I just I sent her a link on Slack and was just like, who's daring enough to show us their demo right now? I don't have my lights in this room. And Brenda was like, I'll do it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I was in a meeting with Bruce and he was like mid-conversation, so I should go back.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need me to try that again.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Brenda. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Okay, let's see. Let's go into some scale questions. For those asking about the outdoor camp, we are going to be getting into we are going to be getting more into those questions. So let's go right here. Tiberius, you got a scale question here?
Yeah, so I think I see some from the previous questions that we haven't answered. What is the weight limit or the weight range for the scale? So it's about 11 pounds to 400 pounds for the scale. So that's 5 kilograms to 180 kilogram. And then the other question, one correction is also our body metrics. When I say 9, it's actually 12 because I forgot to add a weight, BMI, and then heart rate for that. Is the scale Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? So it's just Bluetooth. And with Bluetooth, you definitely gonna have better battery life for your scale. So with our scale, you can, with 4 AAA batteries, you get 6 months of battery life on the scale. Let me see what else. Other questions are there. Let me see here.
How does sync work with the scale?
So yeah, so one thing about the scale is you don't have to have your phone with you when you measure. You could have we do have a default built-in function where, let's say you're up and then you just step on the scale, and then it will actually save offline on the scale. And when you connect the scale with Bluetooth with your phone, it will actually upload all that data to the phone. So you don't have to carry the phone with you all the time when you have to do the scale measurement.
I've got a little experience around that. One of the things that happened to me is I was an alpha and beta tester, and because of some of the internal development limitation, I lost the ability to launch the app for about a month. And when I got the new version of the app, it actually reconnected to the scale, and I got all my measurements for the month that I had lost. So that was a nice nice discovery. Yeah, it synced out absolutely everything back to me without any problem.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, really quick, there's a little conversation going on right now about band and unlocking and locking the door. Arthur, can you talk to why we don't have the band able to unlock the door right now?
Sure. So that's more of a security design. So it's not really a limitation of the band, but it's thinking of your lock being like the lock for your home, and we want to make sure that it's 100% is secure enough and not to be compromised by a software failure or something like that. So in that sense, we use the shortcuts to trigger actions from devices, and for lock, that's locking and unlocking. And we feel safe that for you to trigger it to lock, but if we set it that to trigger it to unlock, that may introduce some security concerns, and we are not comfortable to release that just yet. So that's technically possible, but we need more evaluation, more research into this before.
Right, like a good example is like, so Wyze Lock works with Alexa, right? And with Alexa, when you ask it to unlock the door, it asks you for a voice PIN when you unlock the door, and that's because they've implemented a security measure. And so if we were to do something like that on band for an unlock the door, there might be some sort of a PIN or something, I don't know. But like, it's not a limitation in the band, it's actually a choice right now for how it, the security for how it works with the lock. Okay, I just invited Mike Sabaski into the call. Mike's our director of product. And Mike, we've got about 13 minutes left. If we have time, we'll come back to the Band Scale questions, but we're getting a lot of questions about Wyze Cam Outdoor and the product roadmap. Can you give us just a little information on the product roadmap right now for Wyze, like what we're planning for this year? You know, as much as you can share. I'm not going to be the one to say what we can and can't share. I'll let you do that.
Sure. Yeah, you'll put me in the hard position there.
Yes.
Well, first off, thanks everybody for joining us. As I think anyone who joined the war room for our launch earlier today heard, the next product that we are launching is the outdoor cam, and so that's one that we know everyone's been waiting for. And we are so incredibly excited to be bringing that to market. And so that's the next one. We're so excited about it. It's been in progress, and we've been working on it for, I think, over 2 years now. You know, we've had different things that have caused delays. Everything that's going on in the world right now obviously doesn't help, but we are doing our best, pushing it along. And I don't have the date to share yet, but I will say that that's next. And then some of the other things that are on the roadmap for this year, the other two big ones that we are able to announce that are for sure coming are our doorbell and a thermostat. Both of those have been announced previously. If you watched our Wyzes at the end of last year or earlier this year, I can't remember exactly when that was. Those are two products that we have also on the roadmap. There are a lot of other products that we are working on, but those are the two highest other priorities. And that's what we're going to be really pushing for to get out as soon as possible.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Hey, really quick while I have you here, Mike. One of the things that I know this is the Band Scale AMA, but can you just give like an update to those that are lock owners on kind of what you've been doing to make lock better since the launch?
Yeah, we've done a ton, and actually Jonathan, who you guys have heard from today as well, has been a huge help in pushing on a lot of improvements for Wyze Lock. So a handful of things that I'll just throw out, and then Jonathan, jump in with anything I miss. First is we continue to push out updates and improvements to auto unlock. So thank you to everybody who has submitted any bugs and logs to us. That's been really helpful and allowed our engineering team to dig in and find some of those problems. We have quite a few different improvements that we are pushing out for the some in the imminent releases. We're also releasing something called trash mode, which was invented when I was beta testing the Wyze Lock and accidentally locked myself out of my house while taking the trash out. So you can turn trash mode on, and what that does is it allows you to have auto lock normally be on. And when you're about to leave your house to either take the trash out or take your dog out for a walk, you can just quickly unlock, lock, and unlock again. And then auto lock will be disabled for that one time. So you can leave, the door will shut, you do your thing, you come back in the house, and when you close the door again, it'll lock. So that's one of the first new features that we've added. And we're also so excited and are incredibly sorry for the delays about Wyze Lock Keypad. The coronavirus in China really screwed up a lot of our manufacturing timelines. But we have been working with our partner and we plan to release that in April. So we're getting so close. We have the shipments, everything's been booked. And I know a lot of us on this call actually have the keypad on our homes, and it's incredible. I'm so excited to be able to get that to all of you Wyze Lock customers. Thank you for your patience and understanding. This is super unprecedented times, and we've been doing our best to try to get it to you as quickly as possible. And we're excited to hopefully get your feedback.
Thanks, Mike. So everyone, I just wanted to have Mike talk quickly about that, because that's a good example of like when we release a product, it's not just like release and be done with it. I mean, Mike and team, our app team especially, they've been working like very hard on reliability of auto unlock and other features. And the same is going to be true for Band and Scale. We're not just launching these out and saying, hey, we're done now, like take it as it is. It's like what both Jonathan and Arthur have said about upcoming functionality. Like we're working on these other integrations. We're looking into what is and isn't possible. And we wanted to launch with a product that does a good job at a price point that is really powerful, right? But at the same time, we want to make sure that people are, they're getting the features that they want. And so over time, we release more that makes the products a lot better. I do want to get back to that question about Canada. So I did reach out to our team and asked them about the shipping to Canada, and they said that they were getting really close on it. It did get delayed because of the current situation with COVID-19. We're unable to visit our 3PLs, or third-party logistic firms, until the situation resolves. And so I asked if we had an idea when that might be. And it's really kind of unknown because it depends on COVID-19. And, we're not trying to blame everything on that with the shipping to Canada. Like you've been asking for this for a long, long time. And so I will just say that we are working on Canada shipping, and this has delayed it a little bit more, but that is something we want. So the comments of like, just open up to Canada if you want more sales. Yeah, we totally get it. We understand. We want to do that, and we're working on that. Jonathan and Alex, someone asked if why, like, how can we possibly make the scale so cheap, and what makes it different than other scales? So you've talked a little bit about that, but maybe in 1 or 2 points, highlight the biggest differences in scale and how we can make it so cheap. Cost-wise, not cheap product-wise. Point that out.
I would say Wyze Scale has the most features, and even have more features than regular smart scale, like the heart rate. For now, in the market, only Wyze can do that, and we're the second. And so our technology is pretty advanced compared to Wyze. And we also provide the most accurate data, like the body fat, like the muscle and the water, and for sure we're Wyze. We have very low margin. That's why we can do this affordable price. Yeah.
Right. It's us, trying to sell products to friends, getting a low margin. and making sure that this is available to all. That's one of our missions, is to provide great technology, make it accessible to everyone.
I like to ask the reverse question. Why are all the other scales so expensive?
That's right. Hey, Mike, there's a couple comments in here about person detection. Can you talk just quickly about just where we are on that?
Sure. So as a lot of you guys know, we had to remove person detection when our agreement with one of our partners expired. But our engineering team and AI team have been hard at work building our own in-house person detection algorithms. And again, huge thanks to the many customers who have been sending video clips in and helping with that. Like we wouldn't be able to do this without you. It takes a large community to build these features. I think a lot of you guys are probably in our beta and have seen some of the improvements to that algorithm. So we made tons of progress on it. We actually have a big team right now focused on building those types of different features. So I'm not at this point able to give an exact date or anything like that, but I can say we're close. We've been pushing really hard because we know the frustration caused by having to remove person detection. Honestly, it was something that we were really frustrated about as well. And we're doing everything that we can to get it back as quickly as possible and actually to make it better than it was before. So we're incredibly excited about it. Thank you guys for your help getting us there. And please continue to submit those clips so we can continue to improve our algorithm.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Hey, Arthur, question for you. Can you do NFC payments with the band?
Not really, no. So for the band, we do not have NFC chips inside. So we do not support any NFC-based functionalities with the current mode. But in the early development phase, we do have a second version, upper-end version with NFC chips. So if we see a huge market demand for that, we can still launch that version of the product. That's possible, but no, not for the version we are launching right now.
Another question for Arthur and for Jonathan, related specifically to accuracy of the heart rate mechanism. So they both use different mechanisms for taking heart rate. So can you quickly talk about heart rate accuracy?
Sure. So I can talk about the band first. So the mechanism we're using for the band is this kind of the lag sensor approach. It's like industry best practice so far in the marketplace. So you should be expecting the band to be functioning as accurate as all the other band or smartwatches out there. Yeah, but that's not like medical level or medical products. It's not like do not use that to get your like medical decision or something like that. So, but for consumer products, it's as accurate as we can get in the marketplace with this technology. Yes.
Awesome. And what about scale, Jonathan? How accurate is?
Oh,
yeah.
Let me
or
answer.
Alex. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
For scale, the heart rate is compared to the I would say medical device like a oximeter, and we also build the model and compare to the Apple Watch, and most people use it. So I think it's pretty accurate. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So no, we don't have like a definitive, I think, plus or minus there. So it's kind of following industry standards is kind of the definitive response to that, but it gives you some insight to the technology we use behind it. Let's see, we've got 1 more minute left. For Alexa on the band, can you set it to always listen?
No. So no. So for the to trigger Alexa, you will have to press on the home button for like 2 seconds and then just talk with it. You do not need to speak the word Alexa to wake it up. So we do this because first, like it's better protection of your privacy, we do not want Alexa to keep always listening, especially for device that always stays with you. And second part is that we have a really running a really low battery consumption algorithm on it, so that the small band can last for like 10 days. If we keep the Alexa always listening in the background, it will just kill the battery the duration on it. So the answer is no. You will have to press on the home button for 2 seconds and to start interaction with Alexa.
Awesome. Okay, we've come up on the hour, so we'd like to thank everyone for joining us on the AMA. We can continue to support you. We do have our Wizard team through the normal support.wyze.com. You can go submit tickets. You do get support on your EA products. And so they are ready. We have a whole line of support articles that should help. We're totally willing to continue to answer questions in the forums. So both Arthur and Alex did a post in the EA forum if you're EA members, which you will be able to join the EA section of the forum if you purchase one of these EA products. So yeah, that's another avenue where you can ask more questions, and not just about Band and Scale, just about anything, and participate in discussion about Wyze in general. Jonathan, can you send us out with a little radio broadcaster voice? Someone was saying that you have a radio broadcaster voice. Can you say thank you for visiting the Wyze Band and Scale AMA in your voice?
Wait, what did you want me to say?
Just send us out. Come on. Come on, in a good radio announcer voice. Yes.
Thank you for coming to the Wyze Band and Scale. Ask me anything. YouTube live stream. Yeah. So. Okay.
We'll have Jonathan practice that before next time, people. Hey, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.